NRK has released the 10 songs competing in Melodi Grand Prix 2016. Let's go around and say whether it was worth the wait. Porig, I think you have strong feelings on this.
Yes, it's probably Norway's weakest selection for years. Out of the Scandinavian countries so far, it's probably one of the worst. I think I need to apologise to Finland. Finland is leagues ahead of this. I'm so disappointed. The snippets were promising enough, but none of the songs, I'm going to give my top 3 in a few minutes, but they're just 3 songs that aren't as bad as the other 7.
Denise.
I don't agree. Well, partly I think it's for Norway it's a bad selection, but compared to a lot of other selections, it isn't that bad. There is just one song that I really hate, and the rest of them are just they're okay, at least okay. And there are 2 songs that I really like, so it's not that bad, and it was better than what I expected when I heard the snippets. So not that disappointed.
You know, I think this is an example of how money can make things better, how money can elevate mediocrity to something bearable. If you took these songs and, I don't know, put them in Moldova or maybe even Lithuania, they wouldn't be as strong. But because Norway's got some producers, they can not turn poo into gold, but they can spray perfume on something that smells. In any event, let's kick it off with our number 3, Denise.
My number 3 is Laila with Afterglow.
I wanna be where it's not so dark, with the heat from the afterglow will always keep us alive.
When I heard the snippet, it was my favorite. I thought it was really promising and it really attracted my attention. But hearing the full version, the best parts of it were in the snippets. And the rest of the song is kind of flat for me. Only the part when she's going a little higher, those are the parts that I really like. So overall, it's not bad, but it's way less than what I expected. So it's middle of the road song.
I was going to say that Stein Holla Ola with Traces was my number 3, just because her voice was kind of unique and different, but it's too 90s musical for me, and I think I'm going to have to go with the boy band. I was being kind of discriminatory saying they're a boy band, but when I look at the selection, I have to say that Sweet 16 with Annalie, they're my favourite.
So come with me, oh come on. Much more than you believe. Oh, Annalie, why is this so hard to see?
I'm not a One Direction fan, or they're not my favorite, they're my third favorite. I'm not a One Direction fan. I do not like 5 Seconds of Summer. The Vamps have 1 or 2 good songs. They're kind of in this genre. Yeah, but out of the selection, I can bop my head to them.
You know what? I am getting behind that, Porig. This selection isn't the strongest to me, and normally I don't go for this kind of music, but Sweet 16 with Annalie is also my number 3.
If you got any faith in me, then let me open up your eyes, you'll see. You're burning brighter than the sun.
These 5 boys have the look. I think they have good voices as well, and if they need a 6th, they can give me a call. I think the song has a very, not American pop boy band sound. There's just something very familiar and almost nostalgic about it. Yes, it has the modern One Direction sound, but it also, for me, harks back to the late 90s in a weird way, and all the positive memories that come with that period of my life. I just really like this happy vibe. You know, they're singing about Annalie, they seem to love her, and it makes me love them. Now, number 2.
Yeah, my number 2, it's such a guilty pleasure for me. I know I will play this the whole summer with a cocktail in my hand. It's Freddie with Feel the Rush.
Every day, every night I'm on fire. I got this feeling, I wanna take it higher. Feeling the happy rush inside, man. Get up, yo!
Yeah, like I said, just a guilty pleasure, and it's so funny, and it really reminds me of that Ole Ole song from Friends a few years ago. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's funny. It's not it's not like really good. The lyrics aren't good or something, but it makes me happy. And when I've got that feeling, it's just good for me. And it's really weird when you look at that guy. I was expecting a guy from Jamaica singing it, and then I was like, huh? Are they putting the wrong picture with this? No, okay, so that was really weird for me. But I think that this might have the same future as the pizza song from last year had, like with a big staging and everyone liked it and it was everyone's guilty pleasure. So I think this time it might be Freddie's year for that.
Well, I think it basically is the pizza song, and it might get into the super final, but it won't win. It's the joke novelty act, and maybe it stands out. But I hate when these Scandinavians decide that they're going to be from the Caribbean. It just doesn't work unless you're maybe Adeline and you're able to do a bit of sexy wiggling or something. But no, not from Freddie. My number 2 is Laila Samuels with Afterglow.
One day I'll be with you. One day I'll be with you. One day I'll be with you again.
And her voice is very unique, and she's kind of maybe trying to be a bit like Kate Bush or some of those more unusual and quirky singers, but she takes too long to get to where she wants to go. The chorus that we heard in the snippet was quite impressive, but she goes on and on and on and on forever, and then you get the snippet and then she's on and on and on, and then she's finished. And she's nice, but no. But she's still my number 2.
My number 2 is going to Agnete with the song Icebreaker.
Single promise that you ever made, spinning in my mind like a hurricane. Baby, yes, I hear your mayday.
To me, this had a very heart-shaped hole from Denmark feel in the production. It's kind of electro, it builds nicely. It's never super fast and energetic, it's just kind of mid-tempo power. She's breaking the ice. You know, there's not a lot to love in this selection in my books, and so that's why this stands out. I don't think this would do amazing at Eurovision itself, but I think she has a good voice. I don't think production is masking her. I think that she can actually belt it out. And when she does, she sounds committed to what she's saying. The girl has been done wrong in the past. The girl has been in love. She has experience, and you can tell she's bringing it to bear here. And it's time for our number 1 top pick in Norway.
Yeah, your number 2 is my number 1. I really like Icebreaker.
I'll be your icebreaker when you're stuck in frozen water.
When I listened to it the first time, I was like, what is going on in this song? The melody is changing all the time. This isn't just one song. There are like 3 or 4 songs put together. So it sounded a little like a mess, but when I was doing my makeup this morning, I put the replay button every time. So I kept on listening to it, and I was like, okay, so I do like it. So, and after a while, I sang along, and I got the feeling, and now I really like it after like 10 listens. So it's yeah, there is a lot going on, but now it really fits. And I hope she can deliver it, yeah, when she's performing it live, because, yeah, like I said, I like it.
I think it says a lot that it took 10 listens for you to appreciate it. And I'm going to put it as my number 1 too.
Takes a lot of nerve to save a icebreaker.
But I think it's just above average. It's a big ballad, she sings it very well, but she's trying to be like Sia, except more mainstream. There's the indie kind of, Sia has these kind of indie quirks that make her a bit unique, whereas Agnete has kind of had them all ironed out and flattened out and homogenized, and she's just a dull lady singing a dull ballad that she sings it very well. It's got a big power chorus to it, But yeah, I think if I'm going to say it, I think Norway might be going to have a 2G moment this year.
Oh dear, to remind some of our younger listeners who did not watch the 2012 contest, 2G of course scraped through to the final with his song Stay. He actually tied with Sophie Maranova for last place in his semi-final. And then at Eurovision, he finished dead last in the grand final, dead last behind Engelbert Humperdinck. Dear. And his song was modern too. At the time it felt very current. Do you remember?
Yeah. It was my second favorite of the year. And if I remember correctly, it was his birthday. Or, right? I don't know if it was in the semi-final or in the final.
No.
But I felt so sad for him. I was like, oh my god, this is your birthday present. Here you go, last place. Congratulations. And I liked it, so.
And it was painful. After his semi-final, like at the press conference, he was there saying, I'm here to win. I'm here to do this. And then also he slagged off Jedward when he saw their result. He's like, this contest is crap. Not a good way to go out. In any event, it is time for me to reveal my number one, and I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned this. My number one is The Hungry Hearts featuring Lisa Dillon with Laika.
You could have closed my eyes. You could have told some lies.
And then you left me here, out in the atmosphere, without the disco, without the disco.
Laika, of course, was the dog the Soviet cosmonauts sent into space, and the poor thing died of overheating just a few hours after takeoff. And the lyrics kind of compare this woman's love to this dog's experience floating in outer space. They say things like, you know, lifeless Laika looking at the moon, a little curly dog embraced by endless space, an echo of her life floating like a dream. That is beautiful. And there's also a bit of a political element here. They seem to be talking about a lesbian love affair, and they say the streets of Moscow with my girlfriend. I'm loving that edge. This reminds me of Verka Serduchka Ukraine 2007, in that, you know, Verka said, dancing Lasha Tumbai, which sounded like Russia goodbye, at a time Ukraine was looking west. And here you have her making a statement on homosexuality and LGBT rights and love in Moscow. It's beautiful. Y'all are unmoved.
I'm not moved much by it, but I can see its appeal, and I think if that did get to Eurovision, it has the novelty factor, and it has kind of maybe a bit of hipster credibility attached to it, that it could do well, but obviously they'd have to change the lyrics, because I don't think Russia would approve to them going on about bringing their girlfriend, holding their girlfriend's hands, going down Moscow, the streets of Moscow. But it kind of gives me, there was a band in the German selection, Lang.
Oh,
They
yeah.
remind me of those women, but obviously as well they're going to have a bit of a cult, because I think there might be 8 members at the moment.
Well, you remember that I said in the beginning that there was only one song I really hate? You don't have to guess which one it is. Sorry. No, it's yeah, I don't want to talk about it. It's so bad. I don't like it at all, so I'm sorry.
I love the faux accent she puts on in the song, like she's a KGB agent. The whole thing is taking the piss, and it's so funny. The first time I listened, I thought they were being serious because I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics. But then once you pay attention to the lyrics, you're like, oh, they're doing this deliberately. And you know, they're joke entries like the pizza song from Norway last year and the Caribbean Calypso White Man this year. But this, it's not a joke. It's a novelty, as Pork says, but it's not a joke because there's like a seriousness of message here, which I find hilarious. Well, that's what we think. What do you think? Let us know your top picks for Norway's Melodi Grand Prix in our comment section. And why don't you press like and subscribe while you're at it. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
You don't wear makeup, do you?
Yeah, not at all. Nothing. Wait till you see me in real life again.
Uh-oh.